Welcome to the Wildcast podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Hello, my friends. We meet again. Welcome in and welcome back to Wildcast Studios on Rogers TV for another episode of the Wildcast podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats, presented by Alpha's Appliance Solutions, a premier destination for appliance and storage solutions in Moncton. Right now, they got the KitchenAid Cook Up the Savings event. Save $300 when you purchase any 3 qualifying KitchenAid major kitchen appliances. Save $400 when you purchase any 4, and $500 when you purchase 5 or more. Qualifying purchases must be made by September 26th to October 30th. As always, fan listeners, I am your host, Adam Lund, and I am joined by your favorite co-hoster. And like I said a couple weeks ago, Swifty Dad, Mr. Jeremy Boucher. It's been a couple weeks, man. How you doing?
Well, I missed you last week.
Oh,
it was weird not making my usual drive.
Yeah.
To your place, but then I'm glad to be back, and we got some real hockey to finally talk about.
Yeah.
And
not that we kind of really want to, but
we'll get into it. But it's nice to be back.
Yeah, it's nice to be back for sure. When there's a hurricane coming down the pipe, I was leaving Tuesday from Tampa, which, fun fact, maritime humidity is not Florida humidity. It was 31 degrees, felt like 33 for most of the day. Like anytime you went anywhere, you came home and showered. Like even a walk to the store,
right,
you came home and you had to shower.
Wow.
Raymond James Stadium was a 32 on Sunday, and because it's just this concrete bowl, it was about 37.
Oof.
And as hot as it was then, I can't even imagine what it was after the hurricane. And I'm praying for everyone down there, because it, like, where Florida is, where Tampa is.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely flat. Like there's no mountains, no hills, no nothing. It is unbelievable. But I kind of wish I wouldn't have spent all that money down there. Because
just to see them not get a score.
Just to see them absolutely get smashed.
Yeah.
And my favorite part about it was the following week, they come out and absolutely dominated the Eagles. I think they had like 232 yards total against Denver. In the first quarter and a half, they had 21 points and 178 yards.
Nice.
So you're welcome, Tampa Bay. You're welcome. But yeah, no, they started the show off with some Creed as we went to that, and that went exactly how you would expect it. Like Finger 11 was all right. I know a couple songs. 3 Doors Down, I knew pretty much every tune. They played one new one I didn't know. But Creed, when you get to the age where you're like, I don't need the new crap, just play the hits.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Creed did.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it was
good.
I was sending pictures to Layla because she couldn't go for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like looking through him. She's like, are there any girls there at all? And I'm like, there's a smattering, but it's about, if it's in this age range, and it's the first concert I've ever been to. I don't know if you've ever been to a concert where everybody sings every single song of the headliner.
Yeah. It's pretty rare. It's pretty rare that it happens. Obviously at YQM, everybody knew the Luke Combs.
Yeah.
And everybody knew the Jason Aldean, but it's pretty rare when you get into a decent venue and everybody's just going nuts for all the songs. It's especially with it. How big was the venue? Like, was it
25 to 30,000?
Yeah. So
it's basically Budgart or the Budweiser stage in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same thing. And I guess they're building a new one now too.
Yeah. 50,000.
Yeah.
And they're going to get Oasis next in August next year.
Really?
That's the first that was announced Monday.
Whew.
So that's going to be.
They're not fighting? I thought they were fighting. I thought they were arguing and fighting.
No, they're on a big reunion tour and going across the world. And Toronto is apparently the only stop in Canada, of course.
Yeah, the Canadian part of the tour is Toronto. But if you have a chance to go, if they go and you're into Dad's divorce rock, or you went to the high school in '97 to 2002, go see Creed. It was definitely a fun venue, and the Trop. I can understand how fans of Tampa Bay are kind of tired of it, but as a one-off in the Trop, that is a pretty cool Pretty cool venue. It was nice to sit in AC. I'll tell you that much. And yeah, no, it very cool.
Nice.
You need to go.
That's not on my bucket list, but I take your word for it. I got other things planned for sports trips other than Tampa.
What do you got?
Oh, I'll go to Vegas eventually.
Yeah.
Go watch the Vegas. Watch the Knights. Watch the new baseball team there, and see.
Football. If you can catch all three.
Yeah, most expensive tickets in the NFL.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Gordon Ramsay restaurants obviously too. So
give him a week off, and this guy gets the transitions and it's absolutely perfect.
Right
so,
into it, right?
Yeah, I wasn't here last week because spotty internet. Didn't want to give you a terrible show. So yeah, we're back. Hell's Kitchen is back as well. We gave our predictions. Michael, for you, I took Egypt. I think we're just going to see a ton of drama this whole season with the amount of like clashing of head chefs.
Yeah,
I think we're just going to see a ton of drama.
And for me, that loves to watch reality TV.
Yeah.
I love the drama. That's what I'm there for. If they're fighting every week and arguing over whose dish is better and whose dish should go up there and all this other stuff, I'm all for it. That's what I want in reality TV. That's what it should be.
Yeah, and we had no eliminations. We'll probably see them this week, but I mean, I did send you that video, and it was it $300 for two Wellingtons, mac and cheese, and 2 drinks, and so
317. Yeah, I'll be wiping out. Make sure the credit card's clear before we go to Vegas. It's like tough to get a reservation there too. Apparently,
you don't even need to go Vegas, bro. Go to the one in Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's that one in Connecticut, which is it's kind of cool that it's now in the East Coast, but road trip.
8.5 hours.
Yeah, we could take a Wildcast road trip to wonder if our wives will let us take a road trip.
The expansion team in Connecticut.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, your week was good.
Just same old.
Got to see your house. It's a beauty little house, and it's all decorated for fall. When do you start the Halloween decorations?
The Halloween decorations.
Because if you remember last year, the Halloween decorations.
Yeah, anybody that needs to throw back to last year to make sure that doesn't happen again. But the Halloween decorations will likely go up, I would say, after Thanksgiving. Get the turkey comb on me first before anything, and don't want to put them up too soon. But I've got some ideas.
You get some room now too.
Yeah,
to put up
lots more
trees.
Room. Yeah, I've got some. I got some ideas up here for some.
I almost want to buy that massive skeleton from Costco and put it right in the front. I've seen people put it on the roofs and stuff, and not here, but out in the front, little grass foyer. But I'm not a Halloween guy, and so I remember going to houses and being like, "Nope, not even gonna go to that one," because I knew something was gonna jump out. So I don't want kids to see that, but you won't even be home, right? You're making the trip.
Well, I'll be out with Avery, but my mom will be home. And
what is she going as this year? Is a secret?
What was it again? A zombie cheerleader. Whatever that is. It's I guess it's just a cheerleader costume with zombie makeup and like pigtails off the side. That's apparently the thing these days. Is
she's what, 8, 9?
She'll be 9 in
November.
November.
10, no, that's exactly what Haley was. She was a zombie something, couple Avatar for 2 years, and then she was like a zombie something or other, or witch something. And I'm just like, so when you said that, I'm like, she must be in that age range.
She's getting into that stuff. Like she's into like the Wednesday Addams, the Addams Family.
Have you taken her to see Beetlejuice, or has she seen? Have you watched the original Beetlejuice and go to the next one?
No, I don't think so. That's kind of creepy. That stuff's creepy to me.
Oh, really?
That stuff, yeah, it's weird.
All right.
But she's got like on Wednesdays we wear black shirt, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to say nothing.
Well, I guess you're welcome, Avery. On Wednesdays we wear black shirts too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At least this week. So don't forget, as always, you can follow us on the social medias: Twitter, Moncton Wildcast; Instagram, Wildcast Podcast; TikTok, Wildcast Podcast as well. On YouTube, please don't forget to smash that subscribe button to let you know. Let us know that you like what we're doing as well. You click the bell so you don't miss any of our podcast post games and content this season. Would you like some absolute breaking news
Oh boy,
that is not hockey related before we get into hockey related?
I would. Yes. Is it like music
No,
needed?
I wish
Okay.
I had music for it, but
Dun-dun-dun.
as I was getting ready to do the quick question, I was like, you know what I forgot to tell you and all the listeners? This podcast is not only a hockey podcast, it may transform at some point into a girl dad podcast, as we are expecting a girl.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we found
All
out
right.
this week.
Yes.
We are expecting a girl. So,
Nice.
yeah.
There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's awesome.
So now we can transition from hockey and then do a girl dad
There we
podcast
go.
and what it's like to raise daughters. But yeah,
I'll have a babysitter for you in like 3 years.
mint. Absolutely perfect. But yeah, we found that out on Wednesday. So
That's awesome. Good for you guys.
Thanks, man.
Girls are the best.
they really are. All right, let's get into some
They don't
hockey
get peed
talk.
on.
Yeah, that's one of them. All right, let's get into some hockey news here. Let's go to a quick question. Which is the bigger surprise for you? Now, as the time of recording, the Mooseheads are 4-0, or the Eagles are 0-3-0-1.
Well, the Mooseheads are no longer 4-0.
They are no longer 4-0, but at the time of recording, they were 4-0. And when I did this, so the Mooseheads at 4-1,
Yes.
or the Eagles at 0-3-0-1.
You know what? Just based on, I think the Eagles are going through the same kind of thing as the Wildcats right now, where the chemistry is just not there, and Halifax had that advantage of literally, I don't think a single one of their players went to NHL camp. I don't believe
they did either. No.
So they've had that entire time
Yeah.
to build chemistry, figure out lines. Didn't have 8 guys going to NHL camps to mess up the lines in their final 2 preseason games. Like, they had that time to gel as a unit.
Yeah.
Right. And so for me, the biggest surprise to me is Halifax. This is a team that, we were thinking it was going to be between them and St. John for last in the Maritimes division here. And here they are, kind of first in the Maritimes division for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's a huge surprise to me. But at the same time, it's just like, they didn't lose any guys to mess up with their lines and all the stuff they had going. But Cape Breton's kind of was in the same boat as Moncton, where they lost Lavoie, they lost. They're still without Squires, right? Malota was gone. Newcomb was gone for a little bit. They had to go their last 2 preseason games without having to play around with lines. So it's just one of those. There's no really biggest surprise, I think, is definitely Halifax. Cape Breton, you kind of expected it. It lines up with how they started the season last year, right? It's they get off this. They're known for slow starts if you want to look at last year and this year, right? But Halifax is just, I don't think anybody saw this coming, but we saw that they've got nothing to prove. They're in a rebuild per se, and now their fans don't want them to trade Rousseau. It's all of a sudden it's let's keep the foot on the gas. So yeah, definitely for me, Halifax did not see them getting off to a 4-1 start.
I actually, I think Cape Breton is a bigger surprise to me. I think we did kind of see Halifax having this because they had Rousseau, because they had Schultz.
Mm-hmm.
He was going to steal wins early. It was all divisional games. Now I'm just trying to find out what their schedule was here. And again, they didn't have anyone back or anyone gone to camp, so that does make a difference. But 5 games on the road, they're coming back 4-1 before their home opener. They were already going to sell that thing out. They're probably going to even more sell that thing out, but they were able to take advantage of a Charlottetown, a St. John, catch Cape Breton, and then obviously catch Moncton, where they have success at the Avenir Center all of last year and the past 2 or 3 years. So I kind of,
place was built.
Yeah. I kind of saw them maybe 3-2, maybe not 4-1, but I did see them having a stronger start. The Eagles, for me, I think it comes down to what we talked about with Pat in the preseason show and what you and I talked about. And what's your confidence level in
Melota?
Melota?
Yeah.
He's played 2 games now, and he's got a 4 goals against average. So oh. Find oh my god. I just went to find Cape Breton's stats in the
Amateurs over here.
Jesus. Oh, I forgot to mute the screen, and the highlights came up, and when the 2 logos come together on the Q side, holy Jesus. I gotta let my heart come back down, because in my ears that was loud. Okay. All right. So they started the season with Lavos. They were without Melota. He came back. He's 2-2. Or he's 0-2 in his 2 games, and he's got like 4 goals against average. So I think that's the biggest worry for me. Cam Squires, your MVP pick. I mean, he's going to make that team go. Lavoie got back yesterday against St. John. So I think for me, it's the Eagles, and it is kind of what I expected, because A, they get off to slow starts, and B, I just don't know about Melota enough to trust him as a starting goaltender, and that's going to come, and they're going to be fine down the road. But when it comes down to goaltending in this league, I trust Rousseau more than I would trust Melota, and I think that's why I believe that Halifax was going to get off to a pretty good start and steal some wins early to allow them to compete in that second half when they make moves and move Rousseau.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, they're getting contributions from everywhere. You know, it's great to see Carrier get off to such a great start, where he's 3 goals already, and I mean,
it's kind of what we said.
How many
last
did
year.
he have last year? Maybe 4 or 5 all of last year, and he's already got 3 at this point. We're only 5 games into the season. That's pretty darn impressive, and he's playing top line minutes over there with Kilfoyle and Lulevec. So I think he's he might not have been on the central scouting radar after last season, but I think he's somebody that's just going to right up to the top. I wouldn't be surprised, by June or July of next year if we're talking about maybe a 2nd or 3rd round NHL draft pick.
Yeah, and I mean, if you go back to our preseason shows last year, we talked about he was absolutely worth the price to move up.
Yeah,
we had no issues going to get him, and he had 8 goals, 3 assists, and 11 points in 59 games, and already he's got 6 points in 5 games. He's leading Halifax in scoring. So it's just they're playing as a unit, and I think they've got a coach that they believe in as well, and he believes in the players, and
the Lord has arrived.
Yeah, there's nothing pretty about what they're doing. They're just going out and getting
they're banging bodies, causing headaches, and getting the job done.
Yep, absolutely. All right, let's get to our news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
I didn't scare myself that time. I'm much better. Jesus. All right, news and notes from around the league presented by Integrity Lawn Care. Looking to do fall cleanup and don't know where to start, or just really don't want to do it yourself? Check them out on Instagram or give them a call, 506-866-8218, or email them at integritylawn.care@hotmail.com. We have a new award, or I guess a renamed award. They renamed the QMJHL's most sportsmanlike player will now be the David Desharnais Trophy. I kind of like that. I do like the history of trophies and that, but I also kind of do like your history of the league and top players in the league, I guess, when we were growing up, right?
Yeah. No, this is David Desharnais was, shouldn't be coming as no surprise that he was, going to be named for the sportsmanlike trophy. It's, other than that, anybody who remembers the name Zach O'Brien would probably say that it could be named after Zach O'Brien, but it's also the Quebec Maritimes Junior Hockey League. Not many trophies will be ever named after Maritime players unless they get a Sidney Crosby award out there. But Zach O'Brien, I know you wouldn't know the name, Adam, but he played, I think, 5 years in the Q.
Isn't he playing with Utah right now? Isn't he like a ginger?
No.
Is that a different Zach O'Brien?
That that's another. What's his? It's Liam O'Brien.
Oh, Liam O'Brien. Okay.
Yeah, Zach O'Brien played. I'm pretty sure he played 5 years in the queue.
Yeah.
And didn't get his first penalty until his 5th year. Like he never had penalties.
What?
Like, and it's not like he was in and out of the lineup. He was a healthy player playing almost every game. And as you can see, this is the first episode I've ever done with without a laptop. So I'd look up my information, to fact check myself. But he never took
Who did
penalties.
he play with?
He was with Bathurst.
Zach O'Brien, you said?
Zach O'Brien, yeah. Now I'm drawing a blank here, but yeah, like literally never took a. I remember the first time he took a penalty in the league. It blew up Twitter almost because it was such a big deal that he finally took a penalty. It was no, but good on Desharnais.
Holy Jesus!
Yeah, like
ran around to Bathurst, and then he came back to Bathurst.
Yeah, and how many penalty minutes in his entire career? Like it couldn't have been very much.
He had in 09-10, he played 2 games. He had no penalty minutes. 3 games, no penalty minutes. 58 games in the 2010-2011 season, no penalty minutes. 63 games in the 2011-2012 season, 0 penalty minutes. 150 goals, 51 assists for 101 points, 0 penalty minutes. And then he came back in the 2012-2013 season from St. John Ice Caps to play 66 games with 92 points and 2 penalty minutes.
So 2 penalty minutes his entire Q career. Like he was an absolute.
Holy.
I don't know how he did it. Like it's
especially back in that day of hockey.
You won't find any other player that's going to have that much, luck staying out of the penalty box. So I mean, good on David Desharnais having this trophy named after him, but I'd put up a fight to have it named after Zach O'Brien for that career.
His whole career, he doesn't go in the box.
Yeah. He was very, very. He just knew how to play the game.
Like from 07 to now, just quickly 4, 2, 2, 2, 4, a bunch of zeros, 2 in his Q career. 4, 4, 4, 4, 2, 6, 8 is the most penalty minutes he took with the Growlers in 2019-2020 at 41 games, and then 8 again in 2022. Yeah, that's the most penalty minutes he's taken in a year.
Yeah, he was.
Holy crap!
Yeah, he was quite something. It was unbelievable to watch, and I'm glad I was right when I said he didn't take a penalty till his last year in the queue.
Yeah,
and I can't remember. I think it probably was. I think Jamie Tozer had something to say about it when it finally happened, and that's where it kind of started to trickle down a little bit. And
wow,
yeah, it was quite the career. But that's not much else you can say about that except for you probably could make the argument that the trophy could be named after him, but we're not.
Well, now I got to go see how many David Desharnais has had.
Yeah, here we go.
just out of curiosity. So we had another trade which you can speak to. It was Valdor sending Euro Matvei Gradin to Shawinigan for Euro Edward Bondar and a 3rd in 2026. So you had the trade right. You just didn't quite have the teams.
Yeah. So on the show 2 weeks ago, I said that and Gradin was my rookie of the year pick for the Q. I was almost positive he was going to Rimouski.
Yeah.
And then a day or two later, when the show came out, the trade was announced and was Shawinigan. I was like, I did know that. I don't know why I said Rimouski. I knew he was going to Shawinigan.
Yeah.
But so far, I think he got his first goal over the weekend in the Q. So he's slowly making his way up the rookie leaderboard. But man, Lars Steiner and Rune Aranda. Steiner.
Yeah.
Like,
holy.
What the heck is going on over there? And who is this
kid?
kid?
In the league, I think, in stats.
He's either first or second in the league in scoring right now. He's not even 17 yet.
No.
He turned 17 in November or December. Like he's on an absolute heater right now.
He's 3rd in the league. Fauchon 12, Cote 12, Steiner 11.
Unreal. What a start to the year. Like who is this kid?
We missed it by that much.
46th or 47th overall, I think, in the import draft.
Who needs a computer? Look at you go.
Good.
46th overall to Aranda.
Good pick. Good pick by the Huskies.
Yeah. From Davos, Switzerland. Yeah,
there we go.
I think, Mr. Commissioner, you may want to change it to the Desharnais O'Brien trophy because you can't take it away from Desharnais, but you can add O'Brien. Desharnais had a lot more penalty minutes than that: 12, 39, 44, 32 in his 4-year career in Chicoutimi.
So you can't even argue with that. Like Zach O'Brien, like it's yeah.
I mean, he might have been a nice guy on the ice, but penalty wise, let's go with the Desharnais O'Brien trophy if you don't mind there. But one other one before we get to a little news closer to home, just to touch on it. One of the weirder rules in the OHL where you can buy back a suspension. Like,
that was different.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I'm like, well, then what's the? And I think it caught everyone off guard. A, because it was London.
Yeah.
And B, the league actually come out and said they followed all the rules. They followed the protocol. They get a player back. We had a chat with Tozer in our little group chat about it, and he said he thought it was maybe a preseason rule where you can buy back suspensions, but that's a slippery slope if for the more expensive teams to be like, actually, we're going to give you $1,000 for 2 games and we're going to get our player back.
Yeah, that's gonna benefit the well-off teams and not so much the small markets. I don't like that.
Nope.
I didn't even know it existed.
No.
Yeah, that's brand new stuff to me.
Yeah, it's one of those things where if you're going to allow them to pay, make it like $2,000. So they really have to think if they want to get that one game back at $2,000 because $500 is nothing for London, but it might be something for Sudbury. And then obviously closer to home, Thomas Auger has been signed with the Amherst Ramblers. He was leaving on Sunday down in the post game when we were doing the interviews there, and it was tough to see. And I mean, a 10th round pick.
Yeah.
That just
come in and do what he did.
Do what he did. I should have written this 5'7", 5'5".
Yeah.
Played like he was 6'5", no fear.
All
heart. And it's the unfortunate thing about junior hockey. It is a numbers game.
Yeah, it really is. I'm sure they tried to trade him. But at this point right now, there's not much of a market out there. But I do want to give him a bit of a stick tap, I guess, if we can kind of throw this in. Played his first game with the Ramblers on Monday. 4 assists.
Really?
Yeah. 4 assists and a 5-2, I believe, Ramblers victory. So getting off to a good start.
Knock on wood, if there's an injury that just allows us to...
It would have to be a 20-year-old injury.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like a 20-year-old injury allows us to not spend an asset if it's a major one to bring him up and be a great player. Like, it is nice. I don't think we see it, but there is that flexibility if something was to go wrong, and good for him on getting there. Yeah, 5'8", played like he was 6'8".
Yeah,
like
100%.
Just all heart. I'm glad, and we said this off the air, that no one's wearing 22 this year, because that's, as the Swifty dad said, that's our thing that we started for him. And it'll be tough not to see his parents and sister and all the support the OG had all over the rink.
It's going to be tough for us to find a player that wears a 22 that's going to get the T Swift treatment. It's going to take a while to get that sort of let's get some shoes to fill.
The only other
Skates to fill.
The only other one is a guy up in Calgary that's struggling to make the team. Pelche, 22. Things aren't going well up there. Is it a prospect thing or is it a injury thing?
I mean, it's nothing against Peltz, but he's had a rough go in the NHL career with injuries, and those are tough, always tough to recover from, especially when you're they're extensive injuries. Yeah. There's not these day-to-day things. Like, he's been out a lot.
Yeah.
And it's tough to recover when you suffer so many injuries. You miss a lot of man games, and it's tough to come back from that. I think he's I think you can probably find a spot for him in the the bottom part of the lineup, and hopefully his play just moves him up. But they're it's not obvious. It's not a deep team in Calgary, but it's going to be difficult to find him some playing time, and I don't want to see him on another team.
No,
It's
there's only one team I want to see him on, but unlikely.
well, it's not going to reach that point.
Actually, there's 30 other teams I'd like to see him on so I could get a Pelts jersey and wear it and see him have success. But I want him to have success in Calgary, just not Calgary.
Yeah, he's going to have success. I just don't know at this point if it's going to be in Calgary.
Yeah.
We'll see if he's still a Flame at February.
Yeah.
So, maybe 5 months. He might have another, might be wearing a different jersey. We'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully not. QMJHL Team of the Week. I missed last week, so we do this every year for all of our new fans that are here on Rogers TV. Justin Cote from the Rampart, 2 games played, 2 goals, 5 assists to +2. Maxime Courcelle of Rimouski, 2 games played, 1 goal, 4 assists to +3. Fauchon, like we talked about from the Armada, 4 goals, 2 assists in 2 games. Loic Uriso from Chicoutimi. I almost messed that one up.
Ursero?
Yeah. One. I was like, can you just give me names I can pronounce? Just one week. 1 week. 1 goal, 4 assists in 2 games played. And Benjamin Vinot from Quebec, 2 goals, 3 assists, 1 game played. And goaltender was Charles Edward Gravel from St. John. He was 2-0, a .961 save percentage, and a .144 goals against average. And he was also the QMJHL Player of the Week, and a big reason why they had the success they had. And that's what we talked about with Tozer, is getting a goaltender that can allow a young team to play.
Yeah, it's starting to look like a pretty good acquisition down there in St. John, and I think he's going to really help Justin Robertson kind of be that guy that they can rely on, and it's just a great mentor for young players, and that's a team that needs some veteran. They needed a veteran presence in the nets, and it seems like they finally got one that will be able to come in and actually get the job done. They've if there's any position in St. John they can't seem to develop, it's in nets.
It seems like a Highway 3 problem.
Yeah. It's tough. Goalies are always the toughest positions. It's the toughest position to develop, and St. John, it looks like they have a good one in Justin Robinson.
Yeah, and when you're 16 and you're not getting W's, it's awfully tough to continue to play at 16, especially with these cycles hoping to develop. I think Victoria Phil is finding that out with the Dag right now. He's having a tough start. He's 2-2 with a 5 goals against average. So it didn't help that they lost 9-1 against Quebec. So that doesn't help. But again, it's tough to develop goaltenders, especially in an age where wins are so important in junior hockey. But I guess we should talk about our team now, eh?
Yeah, that's what we're here for.
Alrighty.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, the Wildcats started the season with 2 wins on the road. That was the positive while I was gone, over the Sea Dogs and the Islanders, but they fell in both games at home this weekend, bringing the record to 2-1-1 for 5 points, 5th in the conference, 3rd in the division. We'll start Saturday, the home opener. Wildcats go down 3-2 in overtime. Before we talk about on the ice, let's talk about off the ice. Probably the best outdoor festivities I've seen, the most people I've seen for a home opener. The inside of the rink was decently full, minus the wave. The crowd was good. They were trying new things. I think the only thing I would change is the fire team breather people.
Bring them
inside on the ice on a mat, because I think the fire show got a little bit lost outside without darkness. I think a little bit cooler.
Yes, it was weird to have a fire show at 6:00 in the Oval when you could have moved it inside an hour later, turn the lights out.
Yeah,
a lot better. The whole QR code and get your face on the big screen. Big fan of that.
Yeah. When the internet was working.
Well, yeah. Big fan. That's a nice change. They got rid of the big drum that scares the. Oh,
it's still there, but he's also got a smaller one.
Yeah, he's got the little. Was it a snare drum?
Yeah,
is that what they call it.
Good call.
Yeah, I used to be little drums back in my day.
Me too.
Yeah, festivities wise, the premier of New Brunswick was in attendance with his Wildcats jersey on. Campaigning for votes because it is also election season.
What?
If you haven't seen all the signs around town and around the province, game wise, it was interesting.
It was exactly what I expected.
It was interesting. Yeah, it was a home opener.
Yeah,
where the fans are jacked up, but the visiting team wants to go in there and spoil the party, and they did just that. And it's Moncton didn't really give much for the fans to get excited about. I was ready to let loose because I had an energy drink in my system, and that doesn't happen very often.
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah, I was ready to get going and get excited and cheer for 5, 6, 7, 8 goals. It didn't happen.
Yeah, we hyped that up.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
It was exactly what I expected. I mean, we haven't won a home opener since 2019, 2020, and even that one against with all the hype we had on the team, took a shootout to beat Bathurst that year. We're 2-4-2 against Bathurst in home openers, so maybe we stop that. And our record in home openers total is 13-11, 3-1. So, I guess it would be now 13-12.
Yeah.
Let this. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're gonna get to the biggest question about the home opening weekend a little bit after, but if you go to the Wildcats YouTube and watch the post game from that game, Gardner talked about it. He thought the pregame festivities were cool. He thought the crowd was amped up, and they gave him absolutely nothing to cheer about. And it was almost a carbon copy of last year against Halifax, where, I mean, both goals were scored without assists.
Yeah.
Like, that's one on a penalty shot and one shorthanded. That's just not enough. And you felt like the building was ready to erupt early on. Again, they get you going with the Go Cats Go, and then they don't put it on the little ring in the screen, so it gets quiet. But I think it was just a combination of just a lack of practice. I mean, Pekarchek got there Tuesday or Wednesday, maybe Monday. Moran, I can confirm, got there late Tuesday night because he was on my flight home. Gabe Smith didn't even arrive till Saturday because he was bringing his sticks in the intro video for the Wildcats. Like, that might have been a bit of the issue, but we've played Bathurst now 5 times in a month. It'll be 6 counting this Friday. Like, they know who we are. They know how to play against us, and they did it again. They are attacking Pekarchek, and they are making it miserable. I don't mean attacking in a bad way, but they are making it miserable on him.
Yeah, they definitely want to make him regret his decision of not reporting. But it only took the first 2 weekends of the regular season to realize that this might not be as easy as we thought. I know I'm putting an emphasis on easy. The Maritimes division have some of the better 20-year-old goalies in the league.
Yep.
There are going to be nights where this team is frustrated by one of these goaltenders that have been in the league for years now.
Yep.
And they know the Wildcats, and we saw it on Sunday. We saw it on Saturday. Josh Fleming, I think he's only been around for a few years, but he's also been around enough to know Moncton. And Mathis Rousseau has been around in this league for 5 years. So Moncton.
Yeah. He's comfortable in the Avenir Center.
Yeah. So, and doesn't stop there. Gravel, if you want to look at that season opener in St. John, I was ready to have a meltdown because of all the 5-bell saves he was making.
And I asked you, I think it was the Bathurst game. I looked at you and I said, is this how they played last weekend? Like, is this exactly what happened last weekend?
They had their chances. They controlled most of the play. St. John brought it, though. Like, it was their home opener. They wanted to win it. But it was just Gravel kept frustrating them and making all these ridiculous saves. And I said to myself, just need one. If you get one past them, they're going to come. They're going to come. They're going to come.
Yeah.
And Mercier got the first one against Gravel, and then Samson went back to back, and I was like, okay, let's walking out with a win. And then you go into Charlottetown, and you're expecting to face Ruccia, a goalie, but no, they throw this Donald Hickey kid at us, who's playing his first career game, and you're like, okay, this is either going to go one or two ways. Light him up, or he's going to get a 47 save shutout. And thank the heavens for Johan Loshing's hat trick, because this kid was making ridiculous save after ridiculous save. And anybody who watched the game on Monday, the Islanders game against the Mooseheads on Monday, this kid's going to be a star. Like, he shut the door against Halifax. And then you look at, there's going to be nights where we're going to face Charlottetown and we're going to get Ruccia, and he's going to slam the door. There's going to be nights that, we go into St. John and Gravel's going to shut the door. Halifax, same thing with Rousseau, same thing with Fleming. We've got to find a way to get past these goaltenders, because it could be a tougher test in this division than some people think. And Cape Breton's seen it too. Like, they're getting, these goalies are shutting the door on them as well. So it might not be as easy of a division as some people think.
And one of the weirdest things coming from the live is everyone shoot the puck. There's too many passes. There's too many dipsy doodles. Yes, that is correct. They had 38 shots against Moncton, or against Bathurst. I think they had 4 posts. They had 40 shots against Rousseau. You get into Sunday, a 4-1 loss to the Mooseheads. A 4-1 loss to the Mooseheads, and a dreadful loss at home again. It's just what they do. They come into the Avenir Center and they own it. It's just, you have to figure it out. I don't know when they're going to, but you have to start holding serve against Halifax, or else we're going to be in trouble into the playoffs again. Another shorthanded goal this time. Denny Dorion probably had the easiest bet in the queue. Sean Carrier, a goal in Moncton. Like, if you could legally bet on the quew, absolutely,
just throw money. I would throw money at that easily.
Oh, that would have been absolutely stealing money.
It's karma.
Yeah. But 2 questions for you. I mean, is it a case of the not being used to each other with Pekarchek, Smith, McKinnon, Moran not being back, practicing, getting everything going, or do we have a bit of a top 6 issue because of the lack of playing together? Like, a lot of those guys weren't there. I mean, Loshing was there, or few of the guys weren't there for the first 2 games. And I'm not saying you're not going to put Pekarchek in the top 6. You're not going to put Smith where he needs to go in that third line to solidify it. Moran and McKinnon, they're going to play top defensive minutes, but it's almost like they got the new toys back and they're like, yep, here, and here. And don't, like, Denway being injured didn't help either.
Yeah.
But it just felt like there was a little bit of a chemistry issue.
Yeah.
In the top 6, and the bottom 6 had a much better.
Yeah.
And I didn't see as much of the bottom 6 in that third period, but I think you kind of need to start rolling all 4 of these, because our bottom 6 is playing a little bit better than our top 6 right now.
Yeah, and that's it's, to me, it's all chemistry right now. It's getting these players used to each other. There's some, there's a lack of chemistry. There's no cohesiveness going on right now. They need a good week of practice of everybody being around.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to figure it out. I think they'll have it figured out by the weekend. It's just I think it was just when you miss so many guys, it's tough to get anything together, right?
Yeah.
The power play is definitely.
There's the question. That
yeah,
everybody's
I know we're
going
to get into it.
I also think that Lord went in and put on the board, we're winning this game for Carrier.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? Like, Halifax they were trolling us with the tweets. They had Carrier as their game day graphic. Like, they wanted this one for Carrier.
Yep.
So,
we got it.
Hey, I told him to have success, just not against us. He didn't listen. But again, that's probably one of the easiest bets you could have made. And it wouldn't have mattered if Carrier was there or not. We can't beat Halifax at home.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but I guess the biggest question that everyone's waiting for us to get to, what is worse for you? The 0-12 on the power play, or the 3 shorthanded goals in 4 games, and all 3 of them at home?
Yeah.
Because my answer is the 3 shorthanded goals in the 4 games and all at home. And I talked about it on the live, watching NFL Network game day. Kurt Warner, GCP, game-changing plays. You need game-changing plays.
Yeah.
Those are your game-changing plays in a hockey game. Luckily, they don't have the jailbreak rule like the PWHL, but you had the first goal of the game was a shorthanded to St. Ange. Poor Grenier got stuck out in overtime. You get a 4-on-3, you should convert and put the game away. But
get something going.
Grenier got stuck on the ice. He got beat wide by St. Ange. A block and carries off to the races. Kind of catches Steinman a little bit, but
I'm still trying to wonder what Steinman was thinking there. But
I think the puck kind of died on him. I think the puck was coming a little bit faster, and it kind of died once it got to the closer to the blue line. But get the shots through too. Like they probably had 70 shots against Halifax, and 30 of them hit their legs, and 40 of them got to the net. But for me, it's the GCPs. It's the 3 shorthanded goals that change all the momentum, because now you're just chasing the game, and they're chasing the game at both games against Bathurst, and that they'll figure the power play out. The PK is still 78%, I believe, as of right now. But yeah, it's the shorties. It's giving up the shorthanded goals. It's the power play will figure itself out. If they don't score, if we come on for a Thanksgiving show and they haven't scored a power play goal, Coach Adams going to bring his board and he's going to try and show you what to do, because then the panic alarms will set in. But right now, for me, it's the shorthanded goals. Yeah,
for me too. It was those are always backbreakers. It's tough to recover from shorties, and they are that's momentum, right? There's nothing that gets a team going more than shorthanded goals, and especially if it's an overtime shorthanded goal. Yeah. Those are a lot tougher to recover from. But you're right. The power play will figure itself out. The shorthanded goals are, they're just, you want to almost slam your fist on the desk, because they're preventable, right? You can prevent shorthanded goals just by being smarter. And to me, the power play, it's still predictable. It's the same thing as last year. It's the same setup. You know where the puck is going. These teams know where the puck is going.
Yeah.
And just once, I'd love to see Loshing just fake it, just to see that defender break his ankles.
Yeah.
Right. And then just wrist it or take a slapper.
Yeah.
At that point, you're working 5-on-3. Right.
And speaking of which, the 5-on-3. 2 guys behind the net, back and forth and back and forth. Make that goaltender turn his head, go back and forth. I think Denway being out kind of hurt the power play in that second game.
He's the straw that stirs the drink, right? He's his energy that he brings to the game is contagious. He's he's a big part of that lineup, and I think if he would have been in the lineup, for the majority of that game on Saturday and Sunday, I think we probably would have had a different outcome.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it's not serious.
Yeah.
It looked, when we saw him after the game Saturday, it looked serious.
Yeah.
Because when you're wearing a hoodie and you get one arm out and the other one's kind of tucked in your hoodie,
the old upper body injury.
Yeah, it's never good. But yeah, fortunately we're hearing it's not serious. Yeah. So that's promising. Hopefully he's back within a week or 2 here, and just starts to gets things going.
Yeah. They have movement on the power play, but they're not moving Loshing around.
Yeah. And
I don't know if it's guys just. And they haven't practiced with everyone, and I think that's a prevailing theme early on in the year. But again, it just Loshing kind of goes and finds a spot, and we're not picking on Loshing.
No,
Karchek went and found that spot, and it's top. Everybody else moves except the one guy looking for that shot, and that's when it gets into there. That's when teams kind of know what to do, and teams are okay blocking shots if they're getting W's in Moncton.
Yeah,
and
100%
against Moncton. So you block that, take a step inside, wrister. Just change it up. Guess which 2 teams don't have a power play goal this season?
Let's see, Moncton and Cape Breton.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moncton's 0 for 12. Cape Breton's 0 for 15, and the only team not to give
0
up
for 15.
0 for 15.
Wow.
And the only team not to give up a power play goal. 'Cause I don't think they gave one up today.
Halifax?
Yeah.
They did, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
Never mind that last stat. That's what happens when we put games on Mondays and we record on Mondays.
Your boy was watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Your boy was working.
What else was there to do on a Monday afternoon on a holiday for me?
Yeah. Dear Mr. Higgs, make it a stat holiday for everybody like Christmas.
Agreed.
But yeah.
Don't make the companies decide.
No. Just do it.
Just do it.
We got 2 games this weekend. Friday up in Bathurst. Again, nice classic 6 times in a month.
Mm-hmm.
And then the home opener, and then a home game Sunday against Charlottetown. So what are you expecting out of this? I'm not asking for points. When you're looking at these games, what are you expecting to see out of both of these games? I think for me,
180.
Yeah.
What
power
else?
play goal.
What else do you want me to say?
Yeah.
It's.
I think a Keegan Warren start maybe is one. Not that Simon's been bad, but
I think you'll probably save him for Charlottetown.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, he should have started Sunday. That's just the way I feel.
If he's good enough to back up, he's good enough to be out there.
So I think you'll probably see
I was
him.
a little surprised he didn't start, actually, to be honest with you.
Me too. I thought that was probably his game, but at the same time, we're not the coaches.
No.
If it's I expect things are going to be a lot different once we see once we watch this game Friday night and Sunday. We're coming back here next week with a lot more positives to talk about than what we've mentioned. Because there hasn't been very many positives to talk about on this show. I think they're going to figure it out. From what we seem to have been told as to what happened after the game Sunday.
They did some video work. They did some work.
They did some work. They
went to work on getting ready for this weekend. And I don't think we'll see much line juggling, although I wouldn't mind seeing a Kluche get into the top 6 because he's earned it. I think Schlender and Chance are not regulars, but I think
they need to play.
They need to play. They bring an energy to that 4th line that I think that 4th line in general, Chance, Schlender, and Kluche, they were the best line at times in both games.
Yeah. Oh, and I think that's kind of why I want to see them play. I don't want to see players glued to the bench. Yeah. We have a coach that's known for developing players and getting the best out of players, and so there's no reason why we shouldn't be able to roll a 4th line because they didn't get much ice time. No. And that's I don't like that. I think all 4 lines should be rolling. It happened last year. If it happened last year, it can happen this year.
Yeah. It's get them going, make a few random adjustments, and if guys aren't playing well, put them down. If guys are playing well, elevate them in the lineup. It only makes the team stronger. But are you finally ready for everyone's favorite part of the show?
It's the debut.
It is the debut on Roger
The regular
TV.
season is here.
Yes.
Eric Murray, Realtor, buy a house from him. Stick Tap of the Week.
Yes, the Stick Tap of the Week, the first of the 2024-2025 season, is going to an anonymous business. So anyone who follows the Humanity Project on Facebook and social media, Charles Burrell posted a story, I believe it was a week or 2 ago, in which a business owner from the area here in Moncton approached him, asking, what do you need? What do you need for the winter? What do you need for the fall? And obviously the answer is clothes. We need food. We need this and that. The next question was, what do you have left to pay on the building? And Charles told him. And the business owner, who again we don't know who it is, followed up by saying, I'm basically going to pay off your mortgage.
Yeah.
So that was something to really get going, to be kind of bring a smile to your face, because I mean, that's your faith in humanity and the Humanity Project and all of that. So again, we don't know who it is. It could be the owner of our team, for all we know.
Yeah.
It's
Could be the coach of our team.
very well could be.
Could be somebody who won some Atlantic Lotto up in Shediac or wherever.
Yep, it could. But that was awesome.
Could be you.
It definitely wasn't me.
Okay,
Confirmed.
I can't confirm it was. I would love to, but it was not me.
But that was awesome. I read that story and I was like, yeah, this is definitely getting. It was stick tap material, and I didn't find anything else to kind of replace it or to overtake it. It was too good of a story to not share. So to whoever you are, thank you. It was that was very, very touching.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
All right, that brings us to the Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa. Don't forget they have a loyalty card where if you buy 9 spa services, you get 1 free. Call them at 506-830-1224 or visit them at 1224 Mountain Road. This is like a 2-week stick tap, or it's 2-week Wildcat of the Week, because it's really tough to pick one after back-to-back losses. But I'm going to go with a guy that's leading the team, and that's Julius Sump, the Sump Pump. 1 goal, 4 assists. So he had 4 assists in that opening weekend, had the short-handed goal that kind of got the crowd and got everyone energized against Bathurst, just basically on hard work.
Yep.
So your Wildcat of the Week, presented by Rosemary, Lynns Massage and Spa, is number 26, Julius Sump. And that's kind of almost it. Don't forget, this Sunday is Sunday Fun Day. What?
We have our Calder picks to make.
Oh, yeah. We almost didn't make that. All right.
We have time? We have time? Okay.
Yeah, we
beautiful.
we got time.
All right. So, yeah, this is something we usually do every year with the NHL season just around the corner. I believe it kicks off this upcoming weekend.
Yeah.
We like to make our Calder Rookie of the Year trophy picks because usually the league MVP is Connor McDavid. So it doesn't make sense to pick a league. It's either McDavid or Draisaitl. We'll make your pick. No, this is fun because there seems to be a lot more options out there.
Year it was Bedard or
who did I picked? Not you had Fantilli, didn't you?
No, you had Fantilli from Columbus, I think.
Because last year was like, if it's not Bedard, we're gonna pick so and so. That's how we did it. Right?
I didn't pick Bedard because I thought he'd have the McDavid type season.
Yeah,
where he'd be injured, which he was.
Yeah,
but he came back in enough time, and they were just gonna give it to him anyways. There was Fantilli, Logan Cooley. I think you took Logan Cooley.
I did take. That's right. I did take Logan Cooley. Yeah,
and
you're right. I did take it. Yeah. I forgot that I'd forgotten the name. So why don't you pick
my outside one was Devin Levi.
Okay.
Because it hasn't been to a goalie in a long time last year, but I think I took who's the guy from Anaheim? Made the game-saving play for Team
Mason
Canada.
McTavish.
That's who I took.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so now we got to do this year's.
Yeah, you'll pick. You can pick your guy this year. You can go first on this one.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, I think it's going to be Celebrini. I think that's
a very solid pick.
Yeah, I think that's who it's going to be. I'm gonna stay in Anaheim. Cutter Gauthier.
Oh yeah, that's actually not bad.
I'm gonna say he's got the 5th highest odds to win. And again, I didn't look through these. I kind of forgot. I was like, crap. So now I got to look through it. So yeah, I'm going to go with Cutter Gauthier.
Nice.
Going with the Gauthier theme in some of my picks here.
I'm going to go to the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Matvei Michkov. I think I got this one in the bag.
Yeah.
Is he odds favorite?
He's the odds favorite. Yeah.
I thought so.
Plus 370 on FanDuel. Please bet responsibly. # not a sponsor. Actually, he's tied with Celebrini. They're both 370.
See, Celebrini's going to have a good year too.
Yeah. Stankoven, I find that tough to believe because he played a lot for Dallas. He's at 500, but he played last year with Dallas. So and then Lane Hudson in Montreal at 700. Cutter Gauthier is at 500 with Will Smith And Dustin Wolf, you going to put some cash down on a plus 2,400, hashtag bet responsibly.
That's right. I'm going to put a bet down on Dustin Wolf and on the Flames winning the Stanley Cup. That makes some serious coin.
Oh, would you ever make some serious coin? And speaking of Stanley Cup, you want to do our Stanley Cup now, or you want to wait till next week? The regular season starts October 8th, so our show will come out on the 9th, so it won't be that much, but
you know what? I'll say it right now.
there.
I think your boys are going to get it this year.
We actually both picked them last year. And
It's one of those things.
And I don't remember who you took.
First time Crosby was in the Cup Finals, he lost.
Yep.
And they came back the next year and won it.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that again with McDavid. So close last year, but I think he's finally going to get it this upcoming season.
Yeah. Who you got in the final?
You know what? I'll go with the Oilers and Rangers. What are you going?
Yeah, that's exactly. I think God, I hope they do. I hope that we can break this curse. But yeah, I think the Rangers just have enough to get there. Did you pick the Devils last year? Or did I? I think I did. You took Carolina. I took the Devils.
Carolina,
Devils finally have a goaltender. In Markstrom, I guess shouldn't say finally have a goaltender. He's
not great to me.
Hey, if we play the Devils in the Stanley Cup final, we have Markstrom's number. But I think it's the Rangers and the Oilers, and obviously I'll take the Oilers.
Yeah.
Again, I am pumped for a lot of late nights in 2024, 2025.
I'll be pumped.
And it's not just because the daughter is keeping me up.
Oh,
that's perfect.
I'll be pumped.
I'll get up. I'll get up, honey. Don't even worry about it. I'll get up.
I got this.
Yeah, I got this during the playoffs.
Yeah.
She's not that stupid.
Big Daddy's got this under control.
Yeah, Big Daddy. That's the name I absolutely love. But so you've got the Oilers and the Rangers.
Yep.
And Mitchkov taking on Cutter Gauthier in our rookie picks. That will do it for the show. Don't forget, Sunday is Sunday Fun Day against the Islanders, and it's also 80s Day night. So they're doing some 80s tunes. Maybe be cool if we did some 80s ticket pricing, some 80s food pricing. I know the Wildcats have nothing to do with food pricing. That's all Avenir Center ripping you off. So bring your mullets, bring your hairspray, get your tickets. 80s
starter jackets.
Yeah. I actually can't wait to see some of the fits of these kids. I'm pretty sure if you head to not YouTube, Value Village and the thrift store, you'll see them there picking out some outfits. Did you have a starter jacket?
I had a Chicago Bulls.
My sister had a Chicago Bulls starter jacket.
Yeah.
The pullover?
Yes.
Yeah. My granny bought
the biggest basketball fan ever. Like me, biggest basketball fan out there.
My granny bought us the winter coats that year, so we went into the sports store, and my sister got the Chicago Bulls, and I actually found a Tampa Bay Buccaneers starter pullover, and I kept that thing from 98, 99-ish till probably 2012. It was the warmest coat. Wow. It had some holes.
Yeah.
It had some holes in here.
Yeah,
stitched it right up.
Yeah.
It was one of the warmest coats. They just don't make those coats like they used to. And don't forget, as always, you can hear us on the Q103 Go Home Show with Brock Gallant. And again, we'll be back next week here on Rogers TV. For Jeremy, I'm Adam.
Turn it around.
See you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast Podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.